we are going to look at how I organize the files on my external hard drives for my photography business. I use a pretty simple, straightforward method. I like it clean and organized. I like to be able to see what I need to be working on, what is done, and just have a clear space. So we're going to pretend like I am importing a gallery and we're going to walk through the process. The first thing, I am on a Mac, so it is Finder, but you can do this even if you are on, any computer. The folder systems can look the same. But I have an external hard drive. I call it NLP, which stands for Neyssa Lee Photography 2023-1, which it means it's the first drive of 2023. This year, instead of getting 1 terabit, I got a 5 terabit, so it will hold a lot more. But this is where I store everything for my client work. So this isn't how I deal with personal work, just client work. And then this is where my Lightroom for the 2023 clients are. I put each gallery into here, but I'll kind of show you what happens because when I export the smart previews, it gets put kind of somewhere else. So I'll show you that. So then I have a folder called completed. So every gallery that I've completed, and then what's in progress. Some of these can be moved now, but so it has the session date and the client name and what the session is. And I stick it in here. And then what I will do is I usually do, this gallery's done. So I'll show you a more recent gallery. I call within the folder the family name image drop, and that's where I take the card, basically, grab all the images and stick them right here in this folder called image drop. I then go through, I use Photomechanic, and I will cull down the images I want, and I will have it move photos. So if you want to see how I use Photomechanic, maybe let me know in the video below or in the comments below, and I will create a video for that. But it seems so much more boring, but I can show you how I use Photomechanic. But so then I move them or copy them into a folder called with the family name raw. So I know that those are my images to edit. I will eventually delete this image drop folder when I deliver the gallery. I also keep the SD card in a container labeled with the family name. I do not delete it until I deliver that gallery as well. And I will back up once I upload a gallery or I'm working. I try and I plug in a second drive and I back up to that. I use Backblaze to do my computer, and Acronis, no, that's not it. This one, I use this Acronis, to back up. So it's saying that it's failed because I don't keep the drive plugged in, so it hasn't backed up in the last couple days. But I will plug it in and it will run. So, and it is just backing up this drive. So, and then so once I have the folder here, and we'll look at another family that's completed, I will load this gallery into Lightroom, and then I'll export it for my editor. Currently, I'm using Imagine AI, and I can also leave a referral link for them. It is pretty awesome. It does seem to slow down my computer just a little bit, but it is very inexpensive and super fast. I get my edits back within like 15 minutes because it's AI. But with that, that's where this is. So this is the Grover, I call it SP because then I know it's smart preview, so it's not like the full catalog. However, it currently is open here, and this is where it is, and the photos are here. So I could then pull them back into it, but I edit in this because then as I'm reviewing this gallery right now, and in my process, I then am able to go in Imagine and reload any edits that I did, like just the same. You just load the gallery, and it will make it learns from any small changes you made. So back to folders. So this is what this looks like. So on a family shoot that I'm actually done with, except I'm doing the album, currently waiting for album approval. So here's their image drop folder and here's their raw folder. So these are the images that I in fact want to keep. And then this is their Lightroom, so their Smart Previews catalog. Then when I export the images from Lightroom, I put it into, I call it family name Lightroom JPEG. And I do that because then I do one final thing. I run them through a script on Photoshop. And then I also do black and white. So their gallery is here in both color and black and white, which I'm not managing to click on the black and white for some reason. They're in here somewhere. So that's how that process, so that goes into the JPEG folder. It's just called JPEG, but I know that that's their final gallery, which is right here. So those are kind of the folders that I have. And then once this gallery is done and I've ordered the album, I used to have album, but it was moving things. It was being a pain. So now I just have in progress and complete. And so I move this over here. These folders right here are the ones to blog. It means that when I was finalizing my edits, I starred the ones that I want to keep that I will use either on my blog or my website or for social media. These are for families that I have assigned talent release from their session. And so I will keep those images here. Usually after I have a couple, I'll go into Blog Stomp and prep them to be saved in my stomped content images. I call it stomped content because these say it's stomping images, and I will show you that folder in a minute. But once these are stomped, this is only copied. It's not like moved. So I can delete these folders as soon as that is done. And then when I'm done, a completed album will look like, it will have, sometimes I delete the Lightroom one, but I have the SP, the Smart Preview folder. I have the final JPEGs and their RAWs, but I've deleted that image drop folder. And so that's what's in there. And then that's it on my drive. I keep what's edited. I keep the Lightroom folders and that's it. As far as stomped content images or images that you're using for social media, mine are a tiny bit messy, but I will still show you what I do. So this is a favorited folder, but it's a folder on my Dropbox. I like to have it in my Dropbox so that I can access it from my phone. If I were wanting to create a reel and pull a folder, I can share it with my gal who does some Pinterest pins designs for me, things like that. So that is where I keep it. So what I do is mostly I have them in categories here for what type of photos they are. So I can go in, look up a newborn. I also, and then if I created a couple testimonial ones, so I will put them there. All the different categories. The thing is most of them I started more recently is I categorize it just calling it blogs. And then I have, maternity, and I just keep the family name because often I know what I'm looking for and I can just go by that family name and pull the images I need either for, again, a blog or a social media post or whatnot. So that's in here. And then I have a few extra folders in here, again, that I could eventually clean up, but I will have pulling my images. So if I am creating content for, say, August, I can put blog. These are the images. This is a blog that I'm writing. Here's the images for it. Here's some carousels that I'm creating. Here's this and that. So everything is in here and I'm able to pull it super fast so that when I sit down to create content, I don't have to go searching for images. I've already put it all into a folder. So that is my whole process. Let me know if you have questions on that or would like to see in further detail for other categories.